And we are off. Off and running. So, Darko will be playing any percent Shoryuken list for his race, I'm pretty sure. And Traviktox will be using the traditional Shoryuken route. So basically, this intro stage, it's all about execution, and we're going to see who gets off to an early lead here.
Yeah, there's like a good 3 to 5 seconds that you can gain or lose on this intro stage, just purely execution.
Oh, he did low percent Buster only. It'd be interesting to see what he does then. I haven't seen Darko play lately, but I heard he does a lot of crazy things. So we'll just see what he does here.
Both of them making easy work of the CFO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm like at least 5 seconds behind you, but that's all right.
Yeah, I think one of the streams buffered on me for just a minute, so it's going to be a second before they get in sync for me. The first Maverick they'll be going into is Wire Sponge, which is always the first Maverick we tackle in this game. So as you notice there, Darko skipped on getting the Heart Tank, so he will not be getting the Shoryuken. And that's one of the things about the Shoryuken in this game. It's the Easter egg of Mega Man X2, and it requires getting all the items except for the 0 parts to obtain later in the game. So Traviktox picked up the Sub Tank and the Heart Tank as expected.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the Shoryuken list route, because I don't think I've actually ever seen one before.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And for those that are wondering, does skipping out on the Shoryuken, is it faster in an RTA setting? Actually, it is not faster in an RTA setting. However, Hetfield did a task of the most recent task of X2. The X2 task is Shoryukenless any percent. But gaining a fast time that's faster than the RTA record requires a lot of good luck everywhere. So it'd be unreasonable to try to go a Shoryukenless in a world record attempt. And Darko got an amazing sponge.
Yeah, I got a really good pattern. See how he fares on the refight later.
So the idea with Sponge here, you want to keep hitting him with dash shots, which deal 2 damage apiece. Preferably before he reaches single-digit HP, which if he does, he'll go angry. And he is invincible for about 9 seconds, and you have to wait for his angry phase to end before you can damage him again. And
sorry, in like a race setting, it's definitely something you got to wonder whether or not you want to make him angry and cut your losses, depending on if he's just going to jump around and do a bunch of other stupid stuff before he starts coming back up again.
Mm-hmm. So Darko got a really nice lead to start off this race, and going into Wheelgator, it's a very technical stage for being so early in the run. So he is going to pick up the arm capsule, and he got a very fast open on the capsule. The capsule will not open until the stage stops shaking. So if you get to the capsule and the screen continues to shake, you're going to lose time. But fortunately for Darko, he got a very fast open. So it looks like Darko is going to be doing any percent Shoryukenless, it looks like. And Traviktox is picking up the arm capsule. So here towards the end of the stage, you have to make these series of climbs, and the disc boys there were very nice. They didn't want to play Ultimate Frisbee today. And now we're coming up on the Will Gator fight. So the idea with this Will Gator fight, you want to hit him with the chain before he submerges. And then once you hit him with the chain, there's a 5-frame window before he submerges again. So if you can continue to hit him with the chain, you'll prevent him from submerging, and you can get a quick kill. And unfortunately, Darko was a little late on the dash at the start of that fight, so he has to wait for Gator to reappear.
Oh, yep, the buffer. But yeah, there's a couple like good little visual cues to get this 5-frame window. You can either be like really, really close to him. Looks like Darko's got an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, very interesting. Most of us, we just stand right in front of him and just time our button presses, but he has a little dash flair to it, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. But it's usually right when Gator turns his head back around. A good little window for that to work. And then some people stand a little bit farther away and just let the chain come in, and at times it a little bit differently. It works better for some people.
Mm-hmm. So let's see how Traviktox deals with the Gator fight.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can store charges in this game as well. So if you buffer a shot while you're charged with something else, you'll actually, well, he doesn't do it here, but you can actually pull out just like a normal chain before the charge chain that's already charged up.
So unfortunately, Traviktox has to wait for Gator. But he's getting good luck here with Gator. You can actually resort to these dash shots to Gator as long as he doesn't submerge or anything. And that was a decent fight.
Yeah, that's true. It creates a little bit of lag, but it looks like he's on emulator, so there's not a whole lot of lag.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if he was on console or emulator.
Yeah, I only know because I did a couple low percent Buster only runs after watching Darko's, and the Gator fight can create a lot of lag if he starts throwing out the little spinning wheels.
So Darko's come up on the stag fight, and I just now realized that this is probably a stag third route, possibly.
Yeah.
For Traviktox. So what Darko's doing here, he's letting Stag climb up the wall a little bit, and he stays on the ground, and that forces Stag to come back down. As you see, he's getting really good luck here when Stag lands, because getting the fireballs, he actually resets his iframes when he throws a fireball. So you can get some quicker hits in on him.
Yeah, isn't there a name for this strat? The one where you don't climb up and you kind of just bait him to come back down?
Yeah, Ova Zero, another X2 runner of ours, came up with this kind of method to basically, continue an easier fight than trying to climb the wall, because trying to scale the wall along with Stag is kind of difficult. Oh, and Traviktox was doing Ostrich third, but sadly he crashed on the spikes there, getting the heart tank.
Yeah, doing that dash into the heart from the bike can be kind of tricky to turn around.
So it looks like Darko's following weakness order, I think, starting with Stag and now Moth. So I think the next stage... So I think the next stage Darko enters after Moth will be Centipede. So Traviktox is going to be fighting Ostrich here with just Buster only. So the trick with the Ostrich fight, you want to hope for Ostrich to jump into the air, because when he reaches the peak of his jump, he's going to reset his iframes, allowing you to hit him again with another dash shot. But another problem with the Ostrich third fight is that you need to be on the higher ground when Ostrich jumps, because Ostrich can jump a little bit higher than X can. So if you're not above him in relation to the ground level, you're going to have a hard time trying to hit Ostrich with dash shots. and he's not doing too bad with the fight. I think he dash shot it a couple of times a little early.
Yeah, getting a few honks from good old Ostrich.
So right there at the very end of that fight, Ostrich was going to jump, and I think he got the double hit there at the end.
Yeah, it looks like it, sort of. But yeah, another interesting thing, though, is if you let Ostrich go off screen, he'll waste a bunch of time jumping back into the background. So that's something you don't want to do, is get him off screen.
Yeah, you can get him off screen, but you can't get him too far off screen or he'll disappear on you.
Right.
And Darko finishes off Moth. So now that Traviktox has the arm and leg upgrades, he's able to do what's called neon jumps in Bubble Crab. After taking out the submarine here, he's going to hopefully try to go for a double neon, which I'm not really sure if he knows how to do neons, but we'll see here in just a moment. But a neon jump allows you to get a second and a third jump if you can chain the neons correctly. And it looks like he's just going to go for the casual strat of just dash jumping off onto the lift. And that's a nice, he got it first try there. But a neon jump allows you to get extra height with a second and third jump. And you do this by, during your air dash, you release one of your double charge shots and then jump on the same frame during the dash. And that allows you to get more height. And you get extra height in the water because of the water physics. So Darko's coming up on the chop register fight. He's going to dash jump between the two chairs in the background. Oh, and he goes with the silk shot. Excellent. Yeah, if you have the silk shot, that's much easier. But if you don't have silk shot, then you have to use a strike chain. Yeah, and Traviktox got the sub-tank with a neon, it looks like, so he knows how to do the press neon, at least.
Yeah, it was an interesting little strat. I would assume it's faster than doing the slope jump to get that press neon up there.
Yeah, you have to go a little bit out of your way if you don't have a neon to actually get up there to the sub-tank.
Yeah.
And Traviktox had a really decently good crab fight there, and Darko's getting ready to fight Centipede. We'll see if he can get the tailspin glitch here. Basically, if Centipede deploys his tail, oh, here it comes. He dash jumps to the wall as the segments leave the screen, and then as the segments come back on screen, he's sliding down the wall, and that glitches out Centipede's tail. And as you see, he's stuck in this move, and he can't escape until the segments correct themselves. However, the more you jump and the more you slide down the wall, the closer you get to fixing the tail spin attack. And it did correct itself toward the end of that fight, but Darko had already gotten Centipede close to death, so he was able to just shoot the silk shot to make Centipede lose his tail and then just finish him off with a charge shot. So if we had two high-level runners, like if we had Darko here racing a high-level runner that does with the Shoryuken, you would see that Darko is going to be ahead during the 8 Maverick section of the run. But as the Shoryuken player gets toward the end of the game, especially the Shoryuken rush, you'll see that gap close because the Shoryuken player will kill the bosses basically in with one Shoryuken, whereas Darko would have to fight all the bosses with weapons, and that would take at least 10 to 15 seconds per fight. And Traviktox is having a little trouble getting up the last climb on Stag.
Yeah, depending on what pattern he gets on the bosses at the end, the gap will either open or close by that amount. But it'll definitely close by a significant margin.
Uh-oh, I don't think Darko meant to let his charge go there. So he's going to have to fight Crystal Snail, I think, using 3 dash shots. He'll try to bait Snail into ducking into his shell, and then when Snail comes out of the shell, he'll hit him with 3 dash shots, and then he'll hit him with a couple of magnets.
Yeah, it was a pretty good backup for this strat. Pretty sure it's 4 dash lemons.
If you hit him with 4 dash lemons, he'll instantly retreat into his shell, and then he'll travel around. So you don't want to hit him with 4. You hit him with 3, and then he'll stay out a little bit longer after he does his retaliatory Crystal Hunter attack.
Yeah, you're right.
So Traviktox is fighting Moth now, so he'll be using a Neon Jump to get up to the Heart Tank, since he does not have the Crystal Hunter that you would see in the Stack Third route. So let's see how he does. Very nice. Well done. So now we have Darko's turn with Ostrich Sage. Oh, Darko tried to carry the bike into the door, but apparently the bike took a little too much damage and it exploded on him inside the base.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I don't think it has anything to do with him jumping up at all. But yeah, it was probably all the damage it took. Never heard of the bike taking damage from falling.
So Darko's going to try to fight Ostrich with the Stack Third strat. So he's going to hit him with a dash shot, and then freeze him, and then hit him a second time while he's frozen, similar to Spark Manjo in X1. And then when Ostrich gets frozen, it forces him to jump into the air, and then at the peak of his jump, he'll reset his iframes as usual. But Darko hits him with a dash shot before the iframe reset, and then he hits him with a Crystal Hunter after the iframe reset, and that forces a loop out of Ostrich. And Darko executed that fight perfectly. Traviktox got a really good RNG roll there on that old robot. After you destroy the robot, you want the robot to instantly drop.
Yeah, and Justin, didn't you say something about the distance Mega Man has to stand away from it when you destroy the old robot? That kind of determines that RNG factor.
I have a couple of setup. I have a setup that I stand in a particular spot. It's not a guaranteed, but it's just a setup I have to try to. But most of the time, I do get a good RNG roll, but it's not 100% a guarantee.
Yeah.
Called the Ova Manip. Shoutouts to Ovo on those. So Traviktox has to be careful with the Moth fight, because even with the body armor, you take a lot of damage from touching Moth.
Yeah, it looks like he got pretty close.
Yeah. So now Traviktox is going into the Centipede fight. Or not Centipede fight, but Centipede stage. Excuse me. So Darko is fighting Crab. Simply just place a wheel over Crab, and as you jump over Crab, it forces Crab to jump into the air, which will keep him on top of that wheel, so he constantly takes damage. And I believe Darko has already finished all of his 8 Mavericks, I believe. I believe that was his 8th one. Yes, it was. That was his 8th Maverick.
Yeah, where's Traviktox at? I'm not familiar with this route.
Traviktox is getting ready to fight the Chop Register and Magna Centipede stage. And he also has the silk shot that he can use on Chop Register. Now you notice there is that Traviktox entered that fight on Wheel and not on Silk Shot. And the reason is that once the Silk Shot has reached its full charge, the Silk Shot automatically forms. And that causes some lag when that happens. But if you release the charge on the Silk Shot as the Silk tries to form, it instantly bypasses the forming phase of the charge and automatically shoots the shot into the hilt of that sword. So Darko is just climbing through Counter Hunter 1, switching through all the different weapons. Now, he doesn't have body armor for Violin, so he has to be very, very careful getting up close to Violin to unleash the charge bubbles, because a mace ball hit will deduct 6 HP, so he has to be very, very careful. But bonking into Violin is less damage, so he's going to take that option. Uh-oh. Ooh, Darko got away.
It's a very risky fight with low HP.
Yeah, very risky. I was afraid he was going to die, but he got close to it. I think Violin jumping there at the end of that fight saved him, actually, because it didn't lag, and it just made the hit a little bit quicker for him. So Traviktox finishes off Centipede there with the Silk Shot. Once you hit Centipede with any form of the Silk Shot, it will disembark his tail. And then anytime you hit Centipede afterward, it automatically forces him to teleport. So you really only want to hit him with the Silk Shot when he's close to death, preferably at 8 HP or less. You can also do it at 9, but that requires you to hit him with both of the double neon shots. Oh no, Darko died trying to get around the elevators there. That's unfortunate. He was trying to take a damage boost off one of those projectiles from one of those enemies there that fires the triple shots, and then uses iframes to get under the lift while getting on the spikes. But the second one, you can't damage boost through, so you have to get a clever chain there. So Darko is going to have to wait for the elevator. He can afford to, since he's got such a lead. And as you see there, he's doing some really neat physics with the water. He's doing what's called a surface jump. In X2 and X3, there's actually X can actually jump off the surface of the water. You could almost call it like the Jesus Christ trick or something like that. But basically, you can jump on the water, and that actually saves Darko from dying on that last spike pit there before the vertical elevator. So Darko is using Silk Shot to take out each of these turrets. And right after that, he's charging up Sonic Slicer, and he got one double hit on Sergei's, and he got a second one. So Darko got a really good fight with the with Sergei's there. He's just trying to get the last hit on him. There he goes. He's got it. So if you didn't have the charged upgrade for the Sergei's fight, you'd have to use Speed Burner and Magnet Mine to hit Sergei's in his little cockpit there, but any percent sureness, the fight isn't that bad. You just have to avoid all the shots that Sergei's fires out.
Yeah, that Sonic Slicer makes that fight a lot better, for sure. Still can be a little bit tricky to line up the double hits, but
yeah,
much faster.
Oh, nice. Traviktox got the standing on the shell ending for Snail. So Darko's just making his way. He's going to have to freeze a bat and use it as a wall to actually reach the upper level of the that vertical shaft there.
Yep.
And you may see it from him here in the final spiked hallway. Nope. Deboost will work just as well.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the Shoryuken, there's not a whole lot of risk of damage boosting through that little area. Usually you'd want full health for the Agile fight.
Yeah, so for Agile here, all Darko has to do is hold up and just fire the Magnet Mine. Since up and down directional inputs influence the magnet's direction, all he has to do is not take too much damage from everything, and he's good. Traviktox is trying to avoid getting grabbed by the claw, but for that first claw, getting grabbed by it isn't a big deal since you can just air dash over it when you get let go, when the claw lets you go. So Darko has now reached the boss rush. We can't call it the Shoryuken rush for him. So basically, he's fighting all the bosses just like he did before. Hoping for some good RNG along the way. Oh, wow, and Centipede gives him the tailspin pattern, but I think he overslid there on the wall. So the tailspin glitch didn't happen, but Centipede gives him another chance.
Yeah, and 2 in 1 game.
And he got it the second time. So Darko is just going to stand there and just hit him with Strike Chain. Strike Chain isn't Centipede's true weakness, but it does deal extra damage compared to just shooting him with a Buster Lemon. And then Darko just hits him with the Silk Shot when he's at 8 HP or less and just finishes him off with a double charge shot. Traviktox is beginning Counter Hunter 2.
Let's see how he fares.
So with the bubble splash on Flame Stag, it automatically forces him to throw fireballs. So it's basically an infinite loop there. Oh, unfortunately, Traviktox dies on attempting to skip the elevator there.
Yeah, it looks like he either missed that platform on the left or was trying to touch the little missile platform on the right before air dashing underneath. But that'll happen.
And he gets it the second time. Well done. Okay, there was the dash shots I was referring to on the snail fight from before. As you see, every time Darko hit him with a dash shot, Snail retaliates with throwing a Crystal Hunter. But luckily, you can dash under the lowest Crystal Hunter shot, and wow, Darko gets the bouncing shell off the wall for maximum swag points. And looks like Traviktox is going to play the super safe Sergei's fight and just stand under him and just let go of Sonic Slicer charges, which is really good. I see no problem with that. So Ostrich is fought the same way as before. Although with this refight room, it's a little bit easier to hit Ostrich in the air because you have this huge incline.
Yeah, it's something that you usually don't note on a Shoryuken route, but the boss arenas and the refights are just slightly different. Like in the... Well, it doesn't matter a whole lot in the stag fight, but the walls are a little bit closer together. And in Wire Sponge, the ceiling's a bit lower too. It seems like a bit of a smaller arena. And definitely the Ostrich fight, some of the slopes have changed.
All right, Darko is one cycling Gator here, the first on the first attempt, which is awesome. Well done. Traviktox is
interesting.
Traviktox is making his way towards the Shoryuken capsule. Nice press neon there to get up the first section of this climb. Nice press neon to get up the second section. Well done. Oh, was he going top route?
It looked like he was thinking about it, but
yeah. He's wanting to try to go through this pretty quickly, but okay. He almost accidentally died there, but okay. Luckily, okay. Yeah, that speed burner can thrust you too far if you don't have the proper placement.
yeah, he canceled that a little bit. He was cutting it close for sure.
Yeah, you can cancel the speed burner just by turning the opposite direction. And Darko's trying to get Sponge to go up so he can bypass his iframes. I don't know. No, I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, I didn't quite get it. Sponge had 1 HP too much. He was trying to go for the awesome animation where if you kill Sponge with the Sonic Slicer, Sponge will essentially be cut in half, as you see there. And Traviktox has defeated Agile with the Shoryuken.
Yeah, for more maximum swag points, cutting them straight in half.
So this is the reason why Traviktox picked up everything in the game except the 0 parts, is to get this Shoryuken. So the Shoryuken is not a one-hit kill per se. It deals damage based on the number of frames of contact on the enemy. So if you hit an enemy, or if you hit a boss that is not in invincibility frames, it will deal 16 HP of damage on the first frame of contact. And then for every other frame after, it deals 8 frames of HP. There are some exceptions to this rule, like the Staggery fight. Every hit per frame is 8 HP. It's not, the standard 16 and then 8 and 8. But you essentially need to get up close to these bosses and just Shoryuken them. If they're in the air, it makes getting the Shoryuken a little bit easier to get off.
Yeah, Darko going into the final stage.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be fighting Zero and Wolverine and Wire just a little bit differently than in the Shoryu route for sure.
Yeah, Darko's going to be standing at a specific distance from Zero, and depending on your position in relation to Zero, it will dictate what attack Zero uses. So you want to stand about midway between, from the wall and between Zero. So that forces him just to do the little green shot. And then you simply just have to jump over that shot and time your speed burner shots. And the speed burner will deal 2 damage per hit. But at the very start of the fight, you're so far away from Zero, it forces the threefold, the 3-part attack. So now you just simply get Zero in this little loop, time your shots carefully, jump over every shot, because you need to conserve your HP for all 3 phases here.
Yeah, it definitely makes the Zero fight a lot less cool, because he does have some cool moves, but all you do is just jump up and down and shoot speed burners. Zero just can't quite seem to catch X. His crazy moves.
So Darko is using Neo Sigma's weakness, which is the Sonic Slicer. And he's already have it charged, so he's going to try to get some double hits here. But he failed to get the first one. And now he has to avoid getting hit by the pink ball projectiles, because those deal a lot of damage. I believe, pretty sure it's 6 HP. So since they track X's position, Darko is trying to lure them away so that he can safely hit Sigma. As you see there, he's got Sigma down. And now for the Sigma virus, Darko has to resort to Strike Chain. And every time the Sigma virus makes a pass across the screen, he's going to shoot out two little enemies, in which you can actually kill them and try to get some health drops or weapon refills. Now, Darko does need to farm a couple of weapon drops from these enemies, because the full stock of Strike Chain is not enough to kill Sigma virus. But you can actually force a weapon drop by freezing an enemy and then dashing into the crystal, and it forces a weapon drop. As you see there, Darko got a huge weapon refill. So as long as he can stay alive, he shouldn't have a problem taking out the virus now.
Yep.
And once the Sigma virus reaches the red phase, he's going to start teleporting, and he'll try to teleport right back onto Darko. But Darko has such low health, he can't afford that, so he has to keep moving. And there you go. Time for Darko. A 36-10 in race spot. Good job. Congratulations to Darko on his second win in this pool.
Yeah, good run.
Yeah, it was almost it was going to be a 35 if it wasn't for that unfortunate death in Counter Hunter 2. So, back to Traviktox. He's fighting the Snail refought, and unfortunately, it looks like Snail has to
getting some time slow on him.
Yeah, he got hit with a charged Crystal Hunter from Snail. Looks like unless Traviktox has a sub-tank, I don't think if he picks up all 4 of the mini health refills in the refight room, he's going to have to fight another boss without the Shoryuken. Doesn't look like he has enough.
Yep.
He's 1 HP short, and he has no sub-tank, so he's going to have to fight Gator with the chain. Ooh. So, Gator normally shoots 2 wheels before he comes back up. He can come up instantly. It's a rare pattern. Ooh. When Gator opens his mouth there, if you shoot a buster shot into his mouth, it will keep him up above the water for just a little bit longer, because he'll eat the buster shot, and then he'll retaliate with 4 little shots, and he'll randomize the direction he fires them. He'll either fire them straight forward, or he'll shoot some upward. Oh, it almost got him there. But when he's in that phase, you can hit him with regular limits. You have to actually hit him with buster charge shots. And looks like Traviktox is finished with the refights, it looks like. Yes, he's done with the refights. But Traviktox doesn't have any sub-tank energy, so I'm wondering if he's going to go to Bubble Crab to refill his sub-tanks. Nope, he's going right in, so...
Yeah, we'll see. He's probably going to try and pick up some drops on the way.
Yeah, he can take out some of these security turrets and pick up energy. And he can also get some energy from these little pink blocks that drop down. It looks like he's ignoring all of it. He's just going to go right in and try to finish the run as soon as he can.
Yeah, if he misses any of these Shoryukens, the good thing, though, is he does have the body armor, so he won't run out of strike chain at the end or have to farm for any sort of ammo or anything like that, and he's a lot safer health-wise.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get too reckless with damage. Oh, he took a hit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Zero is just rushing him down with that saber is because if X is in the air when Zero launches an attack, he's going to come at you with the saber, and then he'll punch the ground and throw debris in the air, try to hit you. So we're going to see Traviktox fight Sigma pretty much, hopefully, the same manner that Darko fought him. But he may stick with the Buster. Sigma takes the same amount of damage with the green charge shot and the full Buster charge shot. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with how he wants to fight him. He's going to Sonic Slicer. Okay. So he's throwing a Sonic Slicer there so that when Sigma comes back into the screen, he's going to get hit with one of the blades. Oh, all of those blades missed. Okay. Now, yeah, when Sigma gets low in health, he's going to he's going to charge up for the big electric shock. You definitely want to jump over that. That deals a lot of damage even with armor. But getting him into a loop like that is actually good. As long as you can move out of the way of the electric shock, you're not in that much danger. If Traviktox can get a lucky drop from a couple of enemies here, he can get back to full health, and then he gets access to the Shoryuken again. But if he continues to deboost and just play it out, we'll probably see just a strike chain finish here.
Yeah. He'd have to get pretty lucky with the drops to get like 2 big healths, maybe a little bit more to get the Shoryuken off.
Yeah, he's already far along into the fight that we're not going to see a Shoryuken finish. The current world record for Mega Man X2 any percent on console is 32.46, and on emulator it is 32.34.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference. It doesn't matter much in Shoryuken run, but the difference with emulator and original console, especially in this final fight, the lag is non-existent here on emulator, but on console, Wire Sigma can just slow down the entire screen by quite a bit.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh
What happened?
no!
Still like 5 seconds behind. Oh no!
But, yeah, he tried to get a health refill, and he got the health refill, but I think what happened is that when you pick up a health refill while you do not have a weapon active, and if that weapon does not have full energy, the weapon energy gets transferred to a weapon on your inventory. The problem is it goes to the first available weapon that doesn't have full energy, and in that case, that was the Sonic Slicer. So what happened is he picked up that energy, but he was not on the strike chain to get the energy transferred to it.
Like he's forfeiting.
And he tried to wiggle out of getting captured, but it was too late. He was already done. It looks like Traviktox forfeited, so I don't think we're going to see a finish from him. But that was a valiant effort on his part to try to get away. I think Sigma was one hit from dying there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was super close.
So I believe that's it for this race. That's unfortunate. So I believe that's all we're going to see for right now, I'm afraid. I think that's it for us.
Yep, and where does that put Darko then with the rest of the matches? Does he still have to go, looks like Edo Bean maybe?
Yeah, Darko has to play Demolix, and he still has to play Edo Bean in his pool.
Okay.
And Traviktox, this was his first match in his pool, so he has to still play Demolix, Edobean, and Super 2U.
Okay.
He's got a tough road ahead of him then.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure he'll do okay. I'm hoping for every player to try to get one victory, somewhere around there. That's usually the goal for every person who starts out in a tournament. Just get one victory under your belt.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if Traviktox can pick up his first win. We'll have to see if Darko can go toe to toe with some of the stronger runners. But we'll find out later.
Yeah.
For today, we've got Mega Man 3 coming up at 7 p.m. And then more Mega Man X2 after that at 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's it's 3 hours away for Mega Man, and then a couple more X2 matches. We're gonna finish off with Final Fantasy 1 in the evening. That's what speed gaming looks like in the near future. I'll put the schedule in chat if you want to check out programming for the near future. Thanks so much to Justin and Darren for the commentary.
Thank you for having us. And
Yeah, no problem.
Hope you guys enjoyed the race.
And with that, where should I send these guys? Alright, how about this? There's a thing. We're big fans of Best of NES over here at Speed Gaming. We've gone to other consoles, as you can see. We're having the SNES featured prominently here on the channel. But we still love the NES, so we love the Best of NES, and that means we love the Big 20. It is a race of 20 NES games back to back to back to back to back to back to back. It's gotten some it's earned a reputation for itself. Lots of people are in this next one, Big 20 number 6. The list was announced recently. It's a bunch of Famicom games, but there's some stuff that you know probably in there if you're familiar with speedrunning. The last two games are Mr. Gimmick and Mario Brothers 2: The Lost Levels, which are brutal for speedruns, and people are going to try to learn how to speedrun those and 18 other games in a month, and then try to race them all back to back. Now, why am I talking about Best of NES? Because Best of NES number 1 legend, Zergriff, is our raid target. He had never really played Tetris before, which was one of the games in the first Big 20, and he spent 11 hours on Tetris trying to complete the goal of 100 lines. And he kept going afterwards. He got all the way to game number 18, maybe 19. Mario Brothers 2. He was at the 21-hour mark, I think, at that point. And he just had to go to work. He couldn't miss work, so he had to just stop, cut his stream. He ended up being a forfeit, but he earned himself a reputation. So we're going to go say hi to Zergriff, who is practicing for Big 20 number 6 right now. So you can go over there and check him out. We'll host him in just a moment, and we'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern in 3 hours for Mega Man 3, and an hour after that at 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be more X2. We'll catch you guys then.